Thank you for joining us for the Barbados Today afternoon news for Friday, December 15. I am Mary Claire Williams. Talks are underway between the National Union of Public Workers and the Ministry of Civil Service on salary negotiations for public workers. Ahead of today's meeting, the NUPW expressed optimism that they will secure an increase for their members. Barbados Today's Colville Munzi has this report.
In a matter of hours, public workers will learn whether or not they will be getting a pay increase in their stockings this Christmas. This morning, the top executive of the National Union of Public Workers, as well as representatives from other trade unions, including the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, are currently locked in talks with the Ministry of Civil Service. The meeting, which started at 9:30 this morning, represents the first meeting in 3 months on this protracted issue. In an interview earlier this week, NUPW President Akani McDowell stated that the union was maintaining its call for a 23% increase. He also revealed expectations that government would be willing to move away from their position of 0%. This is Colville Munzi reporting for Barbados Today.
MP for St. James Central, Kerrie Symmonds, is seeking clarity on the proposed sale of the Hilton Hotel. Government is seeking to sell the hotel for $100 million in a bid to boost the island's foreign reserves. However, recent reports indicate that the hotel could be sold for a lesser amount. Addressing Parliament this morning during the debate on the National Insurance and Social Security Amendment Bill, Symmonds sought answers from Finance Minister Chris Sinclair.
The $100 million that the Minister of Finance told this House he was likely to receive from the sale has not, in fact, according to the report, been likely to be received, but it will fall shy by $20 million. We also, Mr. Speaker, sir, would want to know whether or not, in these current circumstances today, it is true that the National Insurance Corporation, National Insurance of Barbados, is a bondholder with respect to the piece of property that we're talking about selling. I am not concerned as to whether or not, in the mind of a member of the cabinet, the $12 million that the NIS is a bondholder for is a small amount of money. The point is the NIS is a bondholder, as I understand it. And I am not concerned. I'm seeing the lips of the Minister of Finance move in, and he will have an opportunity to speak to these matters when he wraps up. I don't want him to correct me from his seat or elsewhere. I want him to correct me on the floor of the House, speaking to the country, the sovereign Parliament of Barbados, the people sent him here. It is a sad thing, Mr. Speaker, sir, when newspapers in Barbados must do the transparency work that the government of Barbados has ministers being paid to do.
Police are seeking the public's assistance in locating missing Tanisha Maynard of Mount Friendship, St. Michael. 31-year-old Maynard was last seen around 6:30 yesterday morning by her boyfriend Gladstone Jones at their home. She is mentally challenged and is known to frequent the Fairchild Street terminal near the Old Market. Maynard is 5 feet tall, brown-skinned with a low haircut and several ear piercings. Anyone with information relating to the whereabouts of Tanisha Maynard is asked to contact the District A police station at telephone number 430-7242 or 430-7246. You could also contact the police emergency number 211 or the nearest police station.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Be careful not to become distracted when laden down with bags, as this makes you an easy target. Ensure that your handbags or wallet is secure and keep your mobile phone out of sight. Resist the urge to broadcast that you are not going to be home. When the festivities are over, recycle your garbage and don't leave boxes in plain sight, for burglars will be on the lookout for top-of-the-range equipment worth breaking in for. Call 417-7233.
G4S, securing your world.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. There are moves afoot in Dominica to declare the opposition leader Lennox Linton bankrupt. This could result in his removal from Parliament. Chartered accountant Kerrie Pinard-Burns says he has instructed his lawyers to proceed with the action after Linton failed to pay a significant sum of money awarded to Pinard-Burns by the Privy Council while it was Dominica's final appellate body. The matter relates to the Layu River Economic Citizenship Program and the Layu River Hotel project. It dates back to 2002 when Pinat Burns sued Linton because of an article published on the internet and statements made about the same program on a radio show which Linton was a guest. The bankruptcy petition was filed in the High Court on December 6, and Pinat Burns said on September 15, Linton paid $1,200 towards the judgment debt. $24,972 with 5% interest per annum remains unpaid. The search is continuing in the Bahamas for a male passenger on a single-engine aircraft that crash-landed into the sea yesterday. Police and rescue officials say an unidentified woman was pulled to safety by a U.S. Coast Guard helicopter and has been flown to the U.S. for treatment. Emergency services were alerted yesterday that the plane, which was arriving from the U.S., had crash-landed 8.5 miles off West End, Grand Bahama, with 2 passengers on board. One police officer told reporters in Nassau that the survivor was incoherent and unable to speak with authorities. And on the international scene, the European Union today agreed to move Brexit talks to a trade and transition pact. But some leaders are warning that the final year of Britain's divorce negotiations could be fraught with peril. We get more in this Reuters report.
Phase 2 of Brexit talks has officially been unlocked. European leaders are set to begin negotiations focusing on a transition period and trade. That after EU negotiators said the first phase of talks had made the progress required. Reuters' Alistair MacDonald is at the Leaders' Summit in Brussels. He says Phase 2 will raise tough questions.
How trade will work, how their security and defence relationship will work, how far the European Union is willing to do Britain special favours in recognition of the fact that it's a large and important trading partner, and how far they will resist demands from London for special terms in order to maintain the cohesion of their own union.
It's a success for British Prime Minister Theresa May, who had arrived in Brussels on the back of a parliamentary defeat served up by members of her own party, who voted late Wednesday to change May's own blueprint for Brexit. Now Parliament gets the last word on any final deal between the government and EU. It raised questions about whether it would be a blow to May's authority as a negotiator, already hit by the loss of her majority in June's election. Instead, her Brexit efforts were applauded by her European colleagues at a dinner on Thursday.
The European Union wants an orderly Brexit, not chaos, and that's the reason why they are now backing Theresa May as the woman who can deliver that and prevent the kind of chaotic divorce that could disrupt not just the British economy, but the wider economy across the continent.
The next phase of the talks is expected to be a real test of European Union unity. European Council President Donald Tusk warned on Thursday success can only come if the 27 remaining EU countries stick together.
That's news. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune in to Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Mary Claire Williams. Good afternoon.